rule. One thing is escalation. Escalation is actually related to case and approval process. We will see, and at the end we will look into the reports and dashboards. Okay. So at
Sir,
what
I have
level
a
do?
small doubt.
Yep, yep.
Sir, suppose I am an admin or I am a sender. I'll send one email, right? And
Mhm.
inside the email body, I have a URL link. And let's suppose I'll send email, and receiver receive the email, and receiver click on the URL link, then response capture to the admin. I don't know how to do this, but I'll send the email,
Didn't get the
everything is
last part.
working.
Captured the response means.
Okay.
Can you please come
You
again about the
uh,
scenario?
capture the response means admin receive the message like user open the link or whatever.
User opened the
मीन्स एडमिन के पास सर मैसेज चला जाता है अगर यूजर ने उस लिंक पे क्लिक किया, यूआरएल लिंक पे क्लिक किया, तो यूजर के एडमिन के पास मैसेज गया कि हाँ आप यूजर ने लिंक ओपन किया, देन आपके पास वो मैसेज गया या फिर रिस्पॉन्स कैप्चर हो गया। yes.
that can be done in multiple ways. First thing is that the sending email, you can send that email through flow. If it is not manual email sending, like if it is depending upon some condition, you are sending that, you can just simply send that. Now capturing the message, that requires some kind of coding. Ideally ideally if you have to do that, you have to create one experience site that is not part of admin. So experience site you have to create, you have to provide the link of that experience site. Whenever somebody is clicking on that, it will come back to Salesforce through that experience site, and in that experience site you will have that code to capture the response. Where you have got this?
Sir, actually, someone asked me like this scenario. I'm confused. I'll send a message through classic or classic email. I'll create, but I don't know how to capture this.
No, capturing is not something by default you can do. Okay. So you need some kind of customization for that.
Okay. And one more question, sir. I have
So,
a
Suraj,
record.
if you have any question which you have faced, or it has come into your mind while going through the things, then please ask those questions. If there are scenarios somebody has given to you and you want
No,
to discuss that,
no, sir.
then you,
This one. No, this question like I'll face in my arc. Like
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Go ahead.
I have a record types, and
Mhm.
inside the record types, some fields are active and some fields are deactive.
There
Uh,
is no active deactive thing. Whenever you are creating record type, there
uh,
are couple of things you have to do. First
mm,
thing is that you have to assign that record type to the profile.
mm,
Second thing is that you have to assign the pick list fields for whatever pick list fields you have in that object. You have to assign the values of those pick list fields. So through record type, you can control the values of the pick list fields. Okay.
mm,
Third thing is that you have to assign the layout, what
yes.
layout you are going to use for that record type. So primarily these three things you have to do. Now,
Mm.
what do you mean by active or deactive? Can you show me?
Uh, yes, sir. Sir, I'll show after the class.
Okay, that is fine. So let's get into couple of things. These are small configurations that can go multiple that can do multiple things. First thing is that uh, creating case queues and assignment rules. So case queues, what is queues? So in Salesforce, we can create user groups and user queues. Okay. So queues are specifically designed in a way that one queue can have multiple users assigned. There can be multiple members assigned in one queue, as you can see, like product support tier one. That is the level of the queue. There is one email for that queue, and we are just assigning users in that queue. Okay. So what will happen with the assignment rules? We can assign records in the queue or to specific people. So queue you have got, it is a bunch of users clubbed together with one specific email, so that if that email comes in, then all those users should be notified. Now, what is assignment rule? Assignment rule means whenever a case is coming into Salesforce, once a case is getting created into Salesforce, who should be owning that case? Who should be getting that case assigned to? Okay. So that thing is called assignment rule. Now, here you can have case assignment rules, and we can create case assignment rules. What we can create as a part of that case assignment rule? First thing is that what is the criteria? Whenever this rule is getting executed, when should someone, when someone say that this product support tier 1 queue will be the owner of the case? Case assignment means owner of the case, assigning the owner of the case. Now second thing is that which fields we will use as the criteria. So we can use specific record types for that. We can use something else as well. Then you have the operator. Now operator, you can understand, like ideally here the operators will be if case is more than these many days, in that scenario it will be a greater than operator. If it is say specific record type is matched, like say product support, this record type is matched, in that scenario we are using equal. So in that way, like we have checked the condition in different ways in different places, it is similar thing. Now if this case is actually, whenever any case is getting created and that is matching this rule, case assignment rule, it will come to this. Okay. Product support will be the, this queue will be the owner of the case. Now second thing is that one thing I have not mentioned till now, that is sort order. Here also you can see sort order. What is sort order? I'll come to that.
Is it sequence or something? So
Exactly.
it's a sequence, yeah.
Assignment rule is very simple, nothing else is there. Only important thing is that this uh, ordering. So this sequencing is very, very important, because what happens, it will execute the assignment rules in order, in this order. Okay. And what will happen if I write some criteria which are overlapping in two rules? Then the first rule, whichever is coming uh, previous to other rules, that one. So
Short one, then
yeah,
short.
the sorted one, that will get executed and that will get assigned. Most of the time, Gautam da, what happens if I am
Mm.
just creating lots of assignment rules in the
Mm.
system? most of the time we see that the assignment is not happening properly. In that
Okay.
scenario, we have to identify where we have missed with the entry criteria, and
Mhm.
two entry criteria are matching actually.
Mhm.
There is some intersection between two entry criteria, and
Mhm.
whichever is the faster one, whichever
Mhm.
is in the higher order,
Mhm.
that will execute. Higher
Mhm.
means here, here say 1 to 10, 1 I am considering as higher, 10 is lower.
Mhm.
So this is one of the important thing of assignment rule. Okay.
That means in the assignment rule,
Hmm.
this short order should be there. I mean, it has to be
Absolutely.
there, something like that.
Absolutely.
We
We have
cannot miss it. Okay.
short order because
Mhm.
it will go through sequence.
Mhm.
So there cannot be any different way to handle this. So I'm just sending this in the group. This can be, you can just try it of your own. So all the steps are already written here. How we can do this? This is an assignment. We can simply complete this assignment and we can understand. We can just create the cases and those will automatically get assigned into queue. Okay.
Okay.
Now, there are two different things. One is email to case. This one is better, rather, Apex hours. So, what is email to case? Like in Salesforce, we have the way to mention, like, I will give you one email ID. If you send email to this email ID, that will create a case in Salesforce. Okay, so that is the way we can create email to case. In same way, we can do something which is called web to case. I'll come to that as well. So first thing is that we have to enable this email to case. We can just go to setup and we can write email to case, and with this we can edit and we can just enable these things. All these configurations are there. That is fine. I'm not sharing my screen, right? Just give me a second. Let me send this and then I'll start sharing again. So for email to case, what we can do, uh, first thing is that we have to enable this in setup quick find. We can just go to email, we can write email, and we'll get this email to case thing. We have to edit this and then we can just enable. Okay, we can just enable this settings. Once it is enabled, okay, once it is enabled, we can just put this email to case routing address, whatever the email address we are providing, right?
Mhm.
And whenever it is case is getting created, who would be the owner, what would be my case priority, what would be my case origin email. Now, with this, there will be some confirmation we have to do now. Once this email to case is configured, we have the service email address. Okay, this is the verified email. This is the service email address. Now we have to set up the routing to forward this. What happens? Ideally, we have to, I'm not sure whether you can look into this. I believe now you can look into this. Now, important thing is that the service email address is this one. Ideally, you should not be able to, you should not be exposing this email. Why? Because this will look like a junk, right? Like some phishing email and all these things. So ideally what we do, like whatever email for any company, whatever email service we are using, say that is Google or Microsoft or whatever it is, we should be creating one email ID, and from that email ID we should be forwarding these emails to the service email address. So once the email hit this service email address, it will create a case automatically. Now the next part, whatever it is showing, is that the forwarding, original email with the forwarding. So add a forwarding address. You can see this forwarding address. This is the this one, this service one, email service address. So it is now getting forwarded. Once it is forwarded, any email, whatever is sent, like you can directly test with this email. You can directly test with this email without forwarding first. Then you can set up that forwarding with that email. And once you send any email in the destination one case will be created. And what will happen? The whole body of the case will be actually copy pasted in the email in the case one. In case details, you will find the whole email body there. Okay. And here you can see some of the things you can configure with this. First thing, case origin. Case origin will be email. Priority you can set up when you are getting email to case. What should be your priority? You can set that up. Now, another thing is that web email. From where I'm getting this web name, Gmail team, these things we can configure, and it will automatically come into the case. And in the forwarding settings, what else we need to do, what we can create, how we can test, I have already shared this one with you as well. So do this email to case. Web to case is another thing, which is another configuration we can do. And I'm not saying ki, you have to do that. You can do that as well. But getting any free website, or for that you have to create your own site in Salesforce. To that also you can configure it. So the thing how we are sending email and getting one case created in Salesforce, in similar way, what can happen is that for any of your website, you can just expose one HTML template. That HTML template will be generated from Salesforce. Let me show you quickly.
Acha, is there any way to send the WhatsApp message? Anything from the
No,
Salesforce skill? No,
by
only the
default,
mail.
no.
Okay,
You need to add some additional product from App Exchange for that, or you have to take Marketing Cloud, or anyway,
okay,
Marketing Cloud is not handling WhatsApp in this way anymore. Marketing
okay,
Cloud, that will be outgoing, not the incoming messages.
okay.
So here this is web to lead is also there, web to case is also there. Okay. First thing is that web to case, we have to enable it. This is the configuration. And this is web to case HTML generator. So first thing is that what are the variables you want to put. Once you put that, and you whether you need this captcha or not, after all these things, you can simply click on generate. I am not doing that right now. It will give you one HTML form, simple HTML form with some fields. That form you need to embed in your website. So and you can do the styling and whatever it is. Whenever somebody is going to that page of website and filling that up, that will automatically create one case into Salesforce. So this functionality is called web to case. So web to lead is also there, web to case is also there, but email to lead, there is no standard way. There is email to case only. Remember that. Email to case, you can see there is no concept of email to lead by default. In general, with configuration, we cannot create leads, we can create cases. Now, if Suraj, if I say that you have to do this email to lead, okay, whenever I am getting some email, I should be able to create a lead. There is no standard way. How we can do that with configuration and without writing any code? With some automation will be there. But how we can do this?
Sir, can you repeat again?
So say there is no way, like right now you can see there is no way to create leads from email, right? We have only email to case in Salesforce. Salesforce is giving you the way to create email to case, not the way email to lead. But I want email to lead functionality. How I can develop that? Whatever you have learned, you learned from this admin classes. Tell me how we can do that.
Sir, create a email Apex class and email services to
No,
write
that's why I told you with admin, from this admin classes, not writing any code.
flow and email to case.
How you can like what you will write in the flow?
Sir, first build a flow that will convert email to lead, and after that configure email to case to trigger then flow
I
when email
didn't
is
I
received or
didn't
not.
get you.
Hello.
Yeah, I didn't get you what you were saying. So with this email to case, I can create case. Now what I can do to do email to lead? That can be simple. Like whenever I am getting email to case, that means I can configure this and I can identify whether this case, any case is getting created through email or not, because
Okay.
the source would be email. If source is email, then I can write one flow on case, on creation of a case where the source is email. I can just create one lead.
Okay. Yes.
So your flow will work on case, nothing else.
Okay, sir.
Though this is not a very good way to do the things, obviously in real life you will not do this. I was just asking you how you can utilize whatever you have learned. Okay. Okay, so this was the first part, what we had to cover. Let's go to approval process. So, is there any approval process? Where is account? Somehow it is removed. Okay, so I'm not creating it only for the interest of time. What is approval process and how that works? Simple thing is that, so there might be scenarios in Salesforce when we are implementing Salesforce process, there might be scenarios that depending upon specific things, we might need to uh, have some approval. So, Gautam, what happens,
Ah,
like, say there is
ah,
one opportunity, and
mm,
for that opportunity, my margin is, say, my general margin of work is, say, 20%. Okay.
mm,
Now, if there is a big customer, or if there is some known customer for whom I can provide special discount,
mm,
that scenario, but that discount will not be done by the salesperson. That should be done by the administrative people, or the
mm,
whoever is hired in the management. So what
mm,
we can do, we can simply implement one approval process. Like, say, if my, in the opportunity, I will have my cost, I will have my percentage of, wherever I like, in what percentage I am just putting this amount, and
mm,
that percentage is less than 20%, I will automatically send, manually also we can send that for approval, but automatically I can send that for approval
mm,
for that record to the higher management, whoever I want to assign. Okay. That
mm.
person will look into, like, they will get one notification, they will look into that record, they will identify, yes, I can approve this, and this person or this company should get this kind of benefit from us, and that is for our business, that is good for our business, and that person is approving that. Otherwise, you can reject that. And depending upon this approval and rejection, we can execute different processes. Okay. So that is the concept of approval process. And
That means that is all this approval, special approval, that is all manual. That means automatically, if 20% is there, automatically it is get approved, right? And
no, no,
if
no.
it is
Yeah,
more than
above 20%, it will get automatically approved. You can consider for that, or in
okay,
Salesforce, I
okay,
I can consider that I will not send for approval if it is more than 20%. So that
okay,
approval process will not fire.
mm.
If it is less than 20% or 30%, or whatever the logic is, I will fire that automation.
Acha, you will put the automation as automatically it will go to the higher ups, right, for approval, something.
Right.
Okay,
Ideally, approval is, there is a button you will click on, send for approval. So it you will send it. But with flow and all these things, we can automate that as well. By
okay,
default, it is something like, there will be, this is the approval process. Okay. How the approval, like, this is very simple thing. This is the condition. I will click on submit for approval. It will go into the approval process. But what I am trying to say is that we can uh, automate the process as well if required, but that will be through flow or Apex.
mm.
So, say this is the scenario planning, how I am going to do this for rejection, for approval, for these scenarios, what I am going to do. Say this is the scenario, as I was telling. Now, where is that? Build an approval process. So here again, you have the hands-on thing, how you can do this. And two more things I just want to mention. One thing is, this approval can be of multiple layer. Okay, say I just want my sorry, I want my field agents or field representatives to submit their say TA bill. Okay, so whatever the bill is, it will go through the process, and that will get approved. So in that scenario, someone will submit that, and first level of approval is, say, the manager of that person. Now, second level of approval is, if there is specific condition, that will go to higher management. And say third level of approval is from the finance guy. So this layered approval, that can also be done. in approval process there are steps. We can define steps. So first step of approval, second step of approval, third step of approval. So it can go into these steps like layered approval. Also there can be another thing, that is, say there are multiple people in one same level. So we can send the same approval to multiple people, and if one person approves that, then you can consider that is approved. The request is approved. That kind of configuration we can do through approval process.
Yeah, understand. Like in sales, maybe the marketing person first will approve. If he approves, then maybe the accounts head will approve.
Correct.
So, yeah, this kind of scenario.
This kind of scenario that can be
Okay.
done. And also
Yeah.
what can happen, like say I am handling one team, and say I have put three team leads in that team. So either like someone is working in like people are working in different shifts. Okay. Now
Okay.
when I am submitting some approval, I don't know who should be who should be approving that exactly. So I can send that approval to all these three people, and anyone can approve that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that can also be configured through
Okay.
approval process. So this is the hands-on that we have to do. Like here you can see this submit for approval. There is a button. We can
Mm.
just put that in the record, and when someone is clicking on submit to approve, at that time it will go for approval. Like say I have to prepare my TA bill, and I have to put the specific details there. So I will put all these details. When my request is ready, at that time I will hit that submit for approval. Now there are two more configurations. One is when someone is submitting for approval, the record should be freezed. So whoever is submitting for approval, that person should not be able to change that value until and unless that is coming back to him again. Like either it is approved or rejected, right? So in between, I should not be able to say change the record. So the record will get freezed.
Just one sec. What is the basic default value without approval? Means everything will be passed or something. Suppose in the setup, if they don't create the approval process, one, two, three, or multiple,
Hmm.
there should be some default, default setup. There should
So
be some,
if we are not setting up any approval process,
uh,
then what will happen? Like the system will work as is. As I am just updating record, I am getting saved.
okay.
That's it. So there is no requirement that you have to configure any approval for one record.
Hmm,
Okay.
hmm,
Now
hmm,
you can decide I need approval for this thing. So
hmm.
I need to create the approval process. And once you create that approval process, then only you should be bring this submit to approve. This button, submit for approval button, should be in the layout only when you are creating some approval process for one object. And this can be done through object by object. Like I can do that on opportunity, I can do that on any custom object, something like that.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the process. I am just sending this one as well. You should be completing this hands-on challenge to get the idea, like what you can do through approval. Just give me a second. I'm just getting one call. I have to pick up. Yeah. So that is approval process. And again, if there are multiple approval processes for one object, it should go. You should be uh, identifying, or you should be providing the proper criteria. Like say there are two different paths. If it is less than 30%, it should go for approval to some person. If it is something is more than 30%, in that scenario it should go to another person, or it should go to another route altogether. So in that scenario we can configure two approval process, one object in one object. So the entry criteria, that must be unique. Always remember that there should not be any intersection. Okay, so that is about assignment rule. Escalation rule, again, that is on case. That is a simple thing. When one case will get escalated, we can configure escalation rules there. Let me go to under service. We can create escalation rule. There is one standard one I have created, and the there also you have the order. Okay, so if this one is actually meeting up, then you will escalate. Otherwise, second criteria, if it is US and uh, SLA is platinum and case priority equals to medium or low, then also you will escalate. And here also this order of execution is important, because first thing, whatever wherever first it will match the record, it will do that part, like it will execute that part. So that is important. So monitoring case escalation, that is another thing. I'm not getting into how you can monitor, but escalation rule is that I can configure escalation rule by which uh, one case can be escalated. Okay, so beside this, there is only one thing left, I believe, that is reports and dashboards. So, how to create reports and dashboards? I will not get into much details. There are standard reports. There are standard like you can look into all these things. All folders. We can have different folders. Why we need different folders? So that we can put specific reports into specific folders, and we can share it. What is sharing? That is, system admin can look into all the reports, that is fine, but to which user I want to provide the view access, that we can configure through this sharing. If say there are two different teams, one is sales team, one is finance team, the reports which are created for finance team should not be sent by sales team or any other team. So I will put the reports of the finance team in one folder, and I will share those reports with the finance team only. Okay, I can create a specific public group for that. I can with role I can also share, and depending on that, only those people will be able to view that folder, not all the people. Okay, that is one thing. Now second part is that uh, all reports. Say there is one report which is called account at risk. Okay, I have these fields created. Now I want this which accounts are at risk. I should be looking into that every day. How I can do that? Subscribe. I can daily subscribe, and if I subscribe, and if I want to send this run report as me or another person, why me or another person? Because it will actually, depending upon the user, it will identify which records I have access and what is my timing at 10 a.m. So 10 a.m. I will get one email with the details of this report. So I don't need to log in into system. I can look into these reports. I can look into these records, whatever accounts are at risk, in my email in the morning every day. I can do that. Okay. Now there are few other things. This thing is called filter. Whenever I am looking into records, I can add filters, I can edit filter, uh, or whatever it is. Now say here I have put that at risk. If I remove this, you can see there are other records as well, right? So in runtime, I can check this. If I have to edit it, I can just go to edit, I can go to filter, and I can just look into anything. Like here, the custom range is given. I can just put all time. If I put all time, that means all the records will be coming. So these are all standards. Now, what was my filter? At risk. At risk. Now, if I put true, if I run this, you can see only two records where this at risk is checked. So this is called filtering. Now, whenever we are creating any report, there are standard reports. Beside that, we can just create, just give me a second. So whenever we are creating reports, we can create from this. Like we will create on this, like we will click on this new report. After clicking on new report, we have to select one report type. What is report type? There can be standard report types, there can be custom report types. Okay, we can just create report types. What is standard report type? Salesforce is giving us multiple report types by default. What is that? We can associate multiple things, multiple objects in one. We can combine the field values, like we can get multiple field values of different objects. Like here it is contacts and accounts. And when we can get this, when there is some relation between these two objects. So max 3 level of a relationship we can engage in one report type. So if I select contacts and accounts, that means I will get all the fields of contacts and all the fields of accounts. Similarly, if I am creating opportunity reports on opportunity, I will get only opportunity. If I put opportunity with products, that means opportunity and opportunity line item will come. Like all the fields of opportunity and opportunity line item will appear here. Say there is lead. Lead is one of my like standard report type. Activities with lead, what will be, what it will be? So all the task emails, like all the activities, whatever activities can be created, those will be appearing here. So in that way we can create reports. Say I'm just creating a report on lead. So these are the fields which are already added. Now I have to configure it, the basic part, to all leads, because the basic filters I have to put. Created on, here there is a custom date. I can just change it to all time. Fine. I can run the report. I can look into all the leads here. But till now, it is not saved. So I can save it. New lead report. Report unique name will automatically get created. Report description we can put, and in which folder we want to put. Private report means if I am creating the report and storing in private reports, then only myself can look into this. No one else can look into that. If I put that in public reports, then everybody in the org can look into this report. Fine. Till now, we have looked into uh, tabular report. This is whatever we have looked into till now. This is tabular report. Now, what we can do group by. So,
Uh, just one sec. In
mhm,
the private report,
mhm,
somebody is creating that, and maybe the MD or the higher ups is looking into it. But somebody is already creating, right?
correct.
So in private report, that means the senior person who creates the private report, he looks into, and also the person who creates it. These are the two things, right? It is not
No,
then
no, no.
then
The higher management cannot look into that.
no, no. In private report, suppose if it creates for higher management, then somebody at the down the level, somebody is creating the
Cannot,
report.
cannot, cannot. If you are creating that report, you only can view that report.
No, no, that report is getting generated because somebody is creating it.
Absolutely,
Maybe
somebody is
uh,
creating it.
somebody
But
is creating it.
right, but no one else can look into that report. Whoever has created that report, that
Uh,
person can only look into that report.
that person can look into, and also the senior management looks
No,
into, right?
no. Senior management cannot look into that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, okay, okay,
This
okay,
is only personal reports. I have created my reports. If
okay,
you are giving access to your user to create reports, they can create their reports, they can store in their private folder. That is the private report. Now, if they are storing that in any other folder, then you can configure this who can look
public.
into that.
Oh, that can be configured. Okay, okay. Hmm.
So if you are giving someone that access that I can create report, I can create report anytime and I can keep that private to me.
Okay.
Now, second thing is that grouping, group of the report, how we can do the grouping.
Hmm.
So there is one thing called lead source. Here you can see group reports. Now I am grouping with, look into this. There is no lead source. From lead source, what is that, web, I have 7 records. From phone inquiry I have this many records. From partner portal I have this many records. So group by is the way we can group the reports, and from group by we can put or remove the details. Here we have the count only, there is no details. But if I put the details, then along with the count, it will give me what is the details of those reports, records. Sorry. Fine.
Okay.
Also, we have the grand total concept. If we do this on opportunity, we will see that grand total thing. So here you can see this subtotal, right? With this subtotal, if there is any amount field, we will see the subtotal of those amounts. And grand total means at the end we can see what is the total amount. So on opportunity, if we run one report with group by, we can look into the subtotal. Like say I have opportunity and I have stages. Let me do that. If I have, let me see on opportunity if we have anything like that. Top opportunities. What are my filters? All opportunities, um, all time, intense partner. Remove it. Let's see what is the scenario. This one anyway we can change whether it is displaying. Say we can display it with donut. Oh, there is no such opportunities, I believe. That's why it is not coming. So we have to create some records in opportunities. Only thing is that if we do this, if we create, let's create couple of opportunities. None of them are open. Is that so? Now you can see that how it will look like. So how many records I have that I can look into. Also with this thing, you can look into the subtotal, right? This is the subtotal of prospecting stage. If we come at the end, we can see the total amount of the opportunity. And here we have the ways to create, say, here is it is line or bar. We can do this as custom. We can do this as donut. Here, donut, I believe, I always like it. Then we have funnels. We can put that as funnels. All these things and this scatter point. All these things are actually these types of pictorial representation can be used depending upon what is my requirement, depending on what I just want to show, right? So those things, depending on that, we can identify it. So this thing is called reports. There are other things of reports that we have to dig in. We have only seen two things like the tabular report and the group by report. There is a concept of joint report as well. Right now, there is no point to show that what is joint report. Like say, I have my open opportunities and I have my closed opportunities. I want to look into these two things side by side for 1 month. So in that scenario, I would be using joint reports. Okay, and these reports are actually uh, see. These reports can be utilized in dashboards. Whenever we are creating any report, like whenever we are creating any dashboard, we can add different components. Okay, we can add multiple components in dashboards. And in dashboard, I can just put multiple things like say, uh, widget, open opportunities by stage. And I just want it as a bar. And then I need uh, new leads. And new leads, I just want to look into. Oh, this is there is no group by. If there is no group by, we cannot show these things. Lead conversion rate. There is no data. Conversion rate, at least I can just add one widget. You can look into this, and we can just add more widgets, and we can change the types. Here whatever we have shown is in bar format. We can put that as donut, no issue with that. And also if I click on this, I'll go to the details report. Okay, and I can look into different widgets by this scrolling, whatever widgets are associated with this, like that. So that thing is called dashboard. So in dashboard, we can just put the relevant things, and whatever access I have on data, I will see these dashboards accordingly. It does not mean that system admin is creating one dashboard. So whoever is looking into that dashboard can look into all the records. No, I have access to these records. That's why I can look into this. If whoever is logging in, they should not, they like that person does not have access to look into all these opportunities, probably it will show 3K, not 3.7 M to that person. So whatever records are like they can access whatever records, depending on that these reports and dashboards will be shown. Fine. So nothing else. If there is any question, we can address that.
That's it.
Yeah. So mostly we have covered all the things, all the aspects of admin, and now we just need to do the hands-on things.
Mm-hmm.
Stopping that
Yes, right.
recording.